In the only vice presidential debate of the entire campaign cycle, Tim Kaine attacked Donald Trump over his taxes, even going as far as accusing Donald Trump of shortchanging our troops during 9/11. Listen.
Governor Pence just said that Donald Trump will rebuild the military. No, he won't. Donald Trump is avoiding paying taxes. The New York Times story suggested that he probably didn't pay taxes for about 18 years starting in 1995. Those years included the years of 9/11. Hillary Clinton went to Washington to get funds to rebuild her city and protect first responders, but Donald Trump was fighting a very different fight. It was a fight to avoid paying taxes so that he wouldn't support the fight against terror.
Is that a fair argument, or is that a leap? Well, here to weigh in on this is Fox News contributor Pete Hegseth and former Massachusetts Senator Scott Brown, who is also a Fox News contributor. Both are also veterans. Thank you so much for being here, both of you.
Good morning.
All right, Senator, what did you think of last night's debate when it comes to ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Iraq?
Well, I thought the ISIS response was perfect. It was Al-Qaeda and bin Laden. I congratulated President Obama, too. That was a gutsy move to go after him. But with regard to ISIS, the fact that they tried to blame President Bush was laughable. And Clinton and Obama could have renegotiated a status of forces agreement. What does that mean? That allows us to have certain protections when men and women are over there serving. And we could have left a transition, a quick reaction, a training force there, upwards, as the generals recommended, about 10,000 troops. And they could have been there to make sure that you didn't have that vacuum. And the vacuum created ISIS, and ISIS was Al-Qaeda of Iraq, and now they're bigger than the size of New England and well-funded, well-armed, and wreaking havoc.
Pete, as a veteran, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, it's absurd. When he listed why we're safer, he said one of them was because we only have 15,000 troops in the region instead of 175, which basically means he's admitting that our retreat ultimately is some sort of a good thing in light of ISIS reviving itself. And that clip you played at the beginning, that this idea that Donald Trump doesn't want to rebuild our military because he didn't pay taxes, and he happened to not pay taxes maybe during 9/11. I mean, let's talk about who has the real pre-9/11 mindset here. And you've got in Hillary Clinton and Tim Kaine unwillingness to call it radical Islam. They want open borders. They don't want to rebuild our military. They don't have a plan to defeat ISIS. And I thought Mike Pence did a very nice job, as the senator said, laying out who opened the door for ISIS and who would continue those types of policies. So he was very good on that level.
Yeah, Senator, was that just a talking point that he just wanted to get in there, the taxes thing, because it had nothing to do with 9/11?
Nothing to do with it. And I guess the 47% of the people in our country that don't pay taxes, plus all the individuals, businesses, LLCs that don't pay taxes, apparently they hate the military. That is the most unusual thing I heard all night. The fact that apparently if you follow the law, you don't break the law when you're following the tax code, and you just happen not to pay taxes. I guess you voluntarily need to pay taxes in order to be supportive of our troops. It's laughable. And just to kind of extend on to what Pete said, look at Syria. When he drew the red line, that's another extension of what happened in Iraq. He did nothing. That emboldened Putin. They keep saying that, oh, you know, Trump and Putin have this man thing, and it's like ridiculous.
Yeah.
The only reason Putin's emboldened is because of the poor policies and the weak policies of Obama and Clinton. Am I right, Pete?
Whose reset button was it that was misspelled that ultimately opened up the door for him to redraw the borders of Eastern Europe? I mean, these all fall at the feet of the policies of Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. And Tim Kaine's not very good at defending it. Mike Pence is, because he's steeped in these issues, and his gut of America should be strong and we should lead, put America first. That's where the American people's gut is right now. So he had the clear advantage there.
Yeah, it wasn't even close, Ainsley. It wasn't even close in terms of Pence dominating the debate. I thought he was spot on. And here's what we have to look to in St. Louis. We have to have an opportunity where Donald Trump actually capitalizes and builds on that ground, that base that Governor Pence led. And Hillary's going to have a difficult time. She's going to have to basically repair the damage that Kaine did.
Pence had a Reagan-esque line. He said, "Are we safer now than we were 7 years ago?" I think that says it perfectly.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for serving our country and for being here so early with us.